You look as tired as me.
This will be the thumbnail.
Here we go! Stay a while and listen. It's good!
This is episode 247 of Colette and Matt have entered the chat, a weekly conversation about video games coming into your ear holes on this Sunday morning. It is May 3rd. Recording and publishing later than you typically hear this program, but we're here. My name is Matt Silverman, joined by the other person whose name is in the title of the show. It's Colette Bennett. Hello.
Hello. We both had colds this week, gentle listeners. So we had to wait quite a while to get to the point to where we could, record this podcast without sounding like complete dog ass.
You got a cold from seeing the biggest band in the universe, and I got a cold from sitting around the house being with children.
Well, okay. So the children
who's
go
cooler?
out. The children go out into the world and mingle with people.
Yes.
So yes. But what I think is really funny about that, about seeing the biggest band in the universe, which, like a crazy person, I bought nosebleed seats for the second night after seeing them on the first night, because you can do that. And also,
wait, you, because we talked about it last time. I asked you, were you going to see them multiple times, and were you only going to see one show and then you bought tickets after again?
Yes. But one interesting thing to me anyway is that I would think that, like, usually when the tickets go on sale, even the nosebleeds are like a couple $100s because of the band. But we got our nosebleed tickets for like $42 a person,
which is unbelievable. And also the idea that that any BTS tickets would be available for purchase the day before.
It's scalpers. It's the scalpers who bought the tickets and thought they were going to make more money, and then at the end they can't sell them for whatever reason. So
how could they not be able to sell them? That's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, like, they played 3 nights in Tampa, not in a row, but they played 3 nights. So I'm assuming it's because of repeated dates. Like, if there was just one night, there wouldn't be any tickets probably. But
by the way, was it outdoors? Or was it indoor?
It was in a stadium. So yeah, it's open. Yeah. It's the open top style. And I will hand it to Tampa. That stadium, there was literally no bad seat in the whole stadium. Like, cool. From sitting at the very top, it was really cool because, like, you could see the whole city, and then you could also see the show really well. And the screen situation was unlike any show I've ever been to. I think I don't know if Taylor Swift does it the same, but it was like the screens were like 2 big screens in the middle and then like these kind of Y shapes on the sides. So you had like so many different screens to see. And it made it so no matter where you sat, you were really getting like a killer like view of everything.
Were they like shooting multiple cameras, meaning on one screen you're seeing one angle and the other screen you're seeing another?
Many.
Yeah. So like you can kind of look at whichever performer you want at any time.
And there was like fire and fireworks and like totally, it was just a big to do. It was great. It was fantastic. But I was very surprised. So I doubt any other BTS fans are listening to our show, but if they are,
who's not a BTS fan? Yeah.
Have hope that you could go for as little as $42.
That it's truly mind blowing. Like it's crazy to me that like the night before the show, scalpers are unable to turn a profit on BTS tickets. Like I don't know what, something's breaking down there somehow.
I think there was a time where I wouldn't have been able to get the tickets because they weren't playing stadiums yet and they were playing single dates in each city. So I think, and they were also not as big as they are now. So I think it might have maybe been different then. But I have a friend who has seen them over 50 times, and she would go to different cities or different countries, and she would always snipe in and just get a ticket the day of, and she would always get them for less.
That's wild. There are those kinds of people, very smart, enterprising concert fans who know where to look, and they know the people, and they know which trucks the tickets fall off of to snatch them up. And I love that. I love that dedication and plugged inness to that.
Yeah,
world.
thanks to her, I have like like t-shirts from shows that I could have never, like shows in Korea that I could
Totally.
have never gone to.
Wow.
And she's like, oh, I got you some merch. I got you a hat. I'm just like, what the hell, you know? Like it was great. But yeah, it was wonderful. I think it's very cute that I went to the show armed with all this hand sanitizer. Like I'm going to try to be clean all the time, but I didn't wear a mask. And I think that's very funny that I thought I was going to be around 70,000 people 2 days in a row and not wear a mask and not get
But you're
sick.
in an outdoor arena. And by the way, did you fly down or did you drive down?
I flew, although quite honestly, Tampa's like 6 hours for me. I could have driven, but I just flew.
Sure. But you might have gotten sick from the plane. You never know.
I mean, the way I think of it is my immune system probably kind of sucks because I spend most of my days sitting in this chair doing work at this computer.
Yeah, I'm
with
the same
no
way.
one but my husband and cats.
Exactly right. Yep. So the minute
I don't have much resistance. I
have no immunity to anything because I don't need it. And then the kids come home with whatever, and then we all get knocked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sucks. Hey, but they got to build their immune system somehow, I guess. So
no, it's how it works. It's all good. But as you and I have lamented many times, it like just takes so long for our old asses to recover from a fucking cold.
7 straight days. Like, and the last few times I've gotten sick, it's been the same. So I just worked because I was just like, well, I'm at my house, same. You know, same. Like I'm just going to work unless I'm like miserable. Totally. But yeah, it sucks because you can't take a week off of work and be like, I have a head cold.
Yeah, that's a topic for another time. Speaking of viruses, I'm going to transition here. Just this very interesting thing that literally happened moments ago as we were logging in to record this podcast. I am very diligent when it comes to keeping this computer that we are speaking to each other on very pristine. I do not install mysterious software from the web. I am very cautious about what I do and do not do on the internet on this machine. Oh, my son's playing drums. I'm like, what the hell is that? And so I truly, to my knowledge, have never gotten a computer virus in probably decades. Like I've never, thankfully, knock on wood, been the victim of anything like that. So because I have good hygiene, hopefully. And then I go to refill my coffee, and I come back and sit here, and I have a notification that's like, Windows Defender. You know how it's like Windows Defender scanned your machine and found nothing. And I'm like, good job, keep it up. And I sit down, and it's like, Windows Defender has found one threat. I'm like, what?
This never happens.
This is like, what? So I go, and it's like, find more information. And in just classic Windows form, it like goes to like the Defender menu, and it's like, we found something. And it's like, well, are you going to tell me what it is? And I have to click through like 2 more little tabs to like figure out what the fuck is there. And so I click through, and it's like, we have found some root cert Trojan that is that has been quarantined and will be removed. So Windows Defender is like, we found a Trojan on some like root directory of your computer, but we've handled it. We got it covered.
That's like, great, but how the hell did that get there?
What the fuck? So in my mind, I'm like, well, nothing. I've done nothing different on this computer between yesterday and today. The only thing I did last night was install 2 Steam demos, which I will talk about in a moment. And I was like, oh my god, is there something compromised on one of these Steam things? Blah, blah, blah. So I copy the string of the name of the Trojan and I Google it, and I'm seeing a bunch of Reddit posts from literally 45 minutes ago. Multiple other people being like, what the fuck is this? What is this? I've been trying to remove this for 2 hours. Or like IT professionals being like, everyone in my company's messaging me about this. Like, what the fuck is this? How did this happen? And the conclusion that much smarter people than me are making on Reddit and other like cybersecurity forums is that Microsoft pushed some like patch or they changed some parameter for like threat detection, and basically with like literally an hour ago has created this false positive on what I imagine is like millions, if not billions, of Windows machines. So if you're listening to this and you're using a Windows computer and your Windows computer is like, holy shit, there's a Trojan in your like root registry key. Apparently it is a false positive that, and it's just Windows Defender being like too aggressive, because what I'm reading about is that this thing is like the way that Windows verifies the authenticity of like website certificates or something. I'm not really, and I'm not an expert in any of this. So basically it's the way that Windows like makes sure that like the shit you're doing on the internet isn't fucking horror show. And Windows Defender was like, wait a minute, what's that? And now everyone's freaking out because it's a false positive. So literally as we're sitting down to record and I'm getting my coffee refilled, I'm having like a mini heart attack. And then recovering, being like, oh, okay, I guess it's fine.
Wow, that is crazy. And that makes me think after this I have to go upstairs and check the PC, because
I'd be curious to see if you
I didn't get that too. See it yesterday, but all I did was like log in and start playing Resident Evil. So totally. I didn't see any notifications or anything. Patrick set that computer up, so it's very possible that
this seems to have happened like 2 hours ago, and we are sitting here on Sunday morning. We are recording this at 9:30 on Sunday, May 3rd. So, and I'm on Windows 10, so I don't know if that is a factor. So
we're on 11. So if I see it, I'll definitely tell you if it affected 11, because I'd be curious.
I have a hunch that this will be a tech headline on The Verge in 3 hours. Because if it truly is a Microsoft fuck up that caused a false positive and gave like IT professionals around the world a heart attack, that's a bit of a news item, I would say.
Yeah.
And you heard it here first. Breaking news. So that's what's going on here.
Nice.
It's not as exciting as BTS, but it sure gets the blood pumping.
However, I will tell you that as I transition smoothly into our news, that surely there are many investors this morning whose blood is pumping extremely hard. Matt shared a headline this morning.
No, I did not share it. Honey Bunches of Bros.
Oh, my bad.
Our wonderful Discord community member.
I find it extremely funny that it is on the website that I work for, in fact, but that I had not seen it. So that means that I guess that the fountain of game news is no longer pouring out of my ass in quite the same way, which is great. But TLDR, Roblox stock nosedives after a company says it expects to make $1 billion less this year. That was a bit of a surprise to me, because as a person who knows very little about Roblox, except that I think that it makes a shit ton of money, it's very popular, and I find it to be dangerous.
Yep.
In some ways.
Yes, in many ways.
That was a surprise to me, because I guess I just thought it was still going hard. But now this is the point at which I say, Matt, please explain to me like I'm 5, because I just
glanced over this because I found so Honey Bro shared it in the in our Discord, and I was like, oh, okay, what the empire can't last forever. Revenue's down for whatever reasons, but then I read over the article and I found the alleged reasons fascinating and worthy of discussion. So, to your point, users are up. Okay. So, according to this article on GameSpot.com, Roblox's average daily active users jumped by nearly 34 million compared to the same period last year. So basically, year over year, they have gained 34 million new users.
Okay.
But they are
so
making less.
It's not about less users. It's about less money.
Yeah, 34 million new users and total hours engaged, 43% more engagement hours year over year. So users are up and actual use and engagement with the platform is up, not just a little, a fucking buttload, right? However, the article cites that Roblox was banned in Russia in December 2025. And the company is saying publicly, because they're probably speaking to investors or whatever they have to do to say what the hell's going on. They say that impacted that. But this is what I want to shout out. Roblox is what's more, management said Roblox's growth was tempered by greater than expected headwinds related to the new age check system. And new user acquisition was slowed, which I don't know how that
doesn't make sense with the numbers.
Yeah, I agree. But I find this heartening and compelling because, well, this is interesting. This is complicated. We made laws in some, I don't know if this is US law or EU or some combination of both. I don't remember exactly where this change or regulation came down. But like now Roblox needs to verify the age of a user. I should triple check to make sure that this is a legal thing, but we'll get into this in a minute. You need to verify your age in order to determine what kind of Roblox account you're going to use. And what they're saying here is that friction where it's like a kid can't just grab an iPad and start spending money in Roblox. They have to somehow verify their identity and their age in order to use whatever features would lead them down the dark patterns into monetization. And that friction, combined with other factors here that they're citing, has reduced their revenue by $1 billion. Now, what I'm pointing out here is that if this is due to regulation, child protection laws, or whatever, what we're seeing here is that regulating these fucking crazy bankrupt tech companies works. It hits them in the pocketbook and it creates friction that prevents the abuse of users, in this case, namely children. However, asterisk, we have discussed that like implementing like identity verification, like upload your face or your birth certificate or your driver's license or whatever the fuck to an internet platform to verify who you are to use the internet is also fraught with, free speech and privacy problems. So what I'm identifying here is that we are proving that regulation works, but also the methods by which we're doing that are currently very flawed, I guess, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What we should be saying to Roblox, what we should be mandating or regulating is like, stop extorting kids for money. Like, stop designing your platform to addict and extort children. You must provide content moderation so that child predators do not lure and groom kids into horrific situations. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I don't have much more to say about it other than like, fuck Roblox, and I'm glad they're making less money, but also we got to keep thinking about how to manage this kind of shit, from a regulatory perspective, I guess.
Yeah. And I mean, I think, we've seen some movements towards that there will begin to be consequences for some of the companies. Like, like Meta's recently had that lawsuit, where it was like, oh, wow, okay. Like, but see, to me, the problem always is that they have so much money that they can just be like, we're just going to settle for whatever enormous amount of money. And then that's going to, sweep the whole thing under the rug. And that does work to some degree. I think when a child or a person has been affected extremely negatively, like a kid commits suicide or something like that, that is what will drive a parent or affected party to the point where they will fight and say, no, I don't want a settlement. I want to bring this all the way to the end in court. And I think that's what
fine,
happened
but even,
to Meta.
Even that amount of money is inconsequential to these companies. So those lawsuits need to happen and they need to push all the way, but that's not enough to hurt their bottom line. What actually, I'm not an expert, but what I perceive from following and reading is like the only thing that will fully squash these dark patterns and addictive, destructive behaviors for tech companies is that we have to create laws that say, no, you cannot do this.
Yeah. And
if you do this, you will face massive regulatory penalties, fines, I don't know, criminal prosecution. That
I think we're moving slowly in that direction. I just think that the problem is that a lot of the entities that have gained that level of power have kind of, I don't want to say surreptitiously, but like entities like Meta and Google and Roblox are so big and there's so much happening that unfortunately, I think it's not just, one report that is like, oh my God, it's like, it has to be dozens upon dozens upon dozens of reports.
Oh, for sure.
Or if it's, women being harassed, it has to be hundreds and hundreds because that's what it takes for people to believe us.
Right.
But it's just like, it's a really weird phenomenon that has concerned me for a long time. Like, I think Honey Bunches of Bros said it really succinctly in the Discord. Their whole business model is some of these kids are going to get diddled, but for what time we extracted the maximum value from them.
Correct.
I think that's super accurate. And I think that applies to, the shit with, Meta and it really like.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with what Honey Bro's saying. And the child predation problem is a real thing that is serious. But it is not my main concern with Roblox or social media at all. It is precisely that the platform incentivizes kids to trick other kids into paying money. Like they are designing games that are like, hey, check out this cool brain rot game. Check out this funny meme game. And then it's like,
my friend made this game or whatever.
I walked 5 steps. Oh, if you want to walk 6 steps, pay $5. And dumbass kids who are playing these very social games with their friends and with other kids who somehow, I guess, the credit card is already added into the account through Apple App Store or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, I do want to cross this bridge. So I'll just say yes to the Robux, and that is the business model of Roblox.
Yep.
And that is so devious because when Fortnite creates dark patterns to trick kids into buying things, it is sort of exposed as like, oh, Epic Games, this big multinational company, designed something to trick kids, and then we brought them to court, and the court said, hey, you did bad, so pay up and fix this. And that is how we correct a corporation from doing dark patterns in an internet game. Right. But in this scenario, Roblox is like, well, we just made a thing and kids can make whatever they want. And the kids are the ones tricking other kids. So it's hard to pin the legal culpability on the creator of the video game that my kid is playing at this moment, who then got tricked. And that is so fun. And so Roblox did not create the dark pattern or create the game, but they fucking make money off of the transaction every time.
Well, and more importantly, they continue to facilitate the setting in which it happens.
Correctamundo.
That's the space, I think.
Correct.
Where it gets really, and I also think that is a big piece of the case with, people killing themselves because of social media.
Yes.
And, Meta going, oh, well, it's not really our fault. We just, and it's like, yes. Okay. So you have people who work to remove, pornography and, content, like, okay, extreme content. Right. But like, that's not the thing, and this is a different topic, but that's not the thing that is harming the users. The thing that's harming the users is very much a piece of what you've created, but you can very easily go, oh, that's just what people put on our platform.
Pornography only harms the advertising model because advertisers don't want to be on a platform next to pornography. So moderating out porn or dirty language or whatever the fuck they care about is all about protecting advertisers. It has nothing to do with protecting users.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I would go as far as to say that the majority of what platforms like this are moderating out is about protecting them from advertisers, not protecting the user. I'm at the point now where I believe that I don't think that any of them give a shit about the user as far as protecting us from anything.
No, there are thousands of leaked documents from whistleblowers every year. That's like, holy shit, we're having meetings in here where we are talking about how to optimize teens and whatever the fuck. And it's like, oh, yeah. I'm sorry we keep talking about this every episode, but man,
I think that it is a reality and it's something that we need to continue talking about because I hope that the way it's handled evolves over time.
It is really because the lawsuits are, like you said, they're piling up and they're piling in.
Yep.
But like, I guess I'm feeling, my optimism is low because lawsuits are lawsuits and courts are functioning and blah, blah, blah. But like, as we escalate that to the regulatory zone, I do not have any faith that our government, current or in the foreseeable future, will take any of this seriously. Because I mean, and you really alluded to it moments ago. All these fuckers are in the pockets of these corporations, and B, these corporations are more powerful and richer than nation states. They command more capital and power than countries do. And and this is the full-blown cyberpunk dystopia that we pretend is like a fictional, far-flung future, but it is here today and has been for some time.
Yes, it is.
Well, in other news, in happier news, we are 1 day away from the moment that you can click purchase, buy now on the Steam controller.
Pretty exciting, I must say. I am really sold on really anything Valve makes hardware-wise. That said, one thing I am super curious about, and even though I've looked at the specs, I'm wondering, like, for me, there are certain things that I don't know until I hold them in my hand. I'm very curious because this controller looks big to me.
It's beefy. It seems big.
It's beefy. And so I'm wondering if that's going to be a fit for me because, as I've talked about on the show before, I have carpal tunnel. It can make your hands fall asleep really easily, etc. I'm actually thinking that I'm about to buy that pillow that you can mount the Steam Deck
You
on.
say that every time, and
I know
I'll believe it when I see it.
I actually put money in the budget for it now, so I think I'm going to actually do it. But because I was like, okay, I would like to be able to use my Steam Deck more, right?
Yeah.
But so that is I'm a little worried, and I'm almost like, wonder if I should wait and like hear more people's reactions, because I'm wondering about weight, because the Steam Deck has been heavy for me.
Let's see. The specs
so I'm very
are out
curious.
There. Let's see.
Like I said, the specs are there, and I've looked at them, and I've thought about it, and I've been like, I don't know how this is going to be. So that's no fault of the controller. Obviously, this is all about me and personal.
This is interesting. Keep going, because I want to see how it compares to other controllers. What is your, when you're playing video games on any platform, what is your controller of choice? Is it a DualSense?
Right now I'm using a DualSense. I have used Xbox controllers in the past. We have both right now. Our Xbox controllers need to be repaired. They're out of commission, or they need to be replaced. But I like both those controllers. The original Xbox controller was too big and unwieldy for me, although that was a long time ago, and it was different reasons that I didn't like it. But either of those controllers for me are pretty good. I also have that 8-bit Do controller that you passed on to me, and that one works well for me too. So I would say, of those controllers, do I have a favorite? I do really like the DualSense. It is the DualSense really cool. The responsiveness is really cool. The haptics, all that. So I do like that. I have
gone through 2 of them. I'm on my second one, and like there is like a button stickiness problem. Like my right shoulder button, like if I press it in a certain way, it kind of like gets. It's not stuck, but it has this friction where it's like it's not coming back up into place right away. It's so like if you press a button, it's like, and in this situation, it's like. It kind of like slowly rises back up, and I'm just like, oh, fuck this, So it depends on the game I'm playing. Only on the right button. So I'm due to like popping those buttons off is actually pretty straightforward. So I might just like pop it off and clean it out or something. I don't know if it's actually debris or if it's a defect, but yeah.
Yeah, anyway. I hope not. That sucks. I've had the sticky button issue before with a couple of old controllers, but yeah, I mean, this looks like a fucking terrific controller, and like I want it. I just want to make sure that it will be a fit for me personally, I think.
So here are the weight breakdowns. And this is interesting because it doesn't seem like this. The Xbox, Xbox, okay, wait. Xbox Series X and S wireless controller. Is that the one you have? Maybe I have I have Xbox One.
Yes.
Okay, let me see this.
No, we have Series X.
They're basically the same. Okay. Xbox controllers, 280 grams, 9.9 ounces. Okay. PS5 DualSense, according to the internet, exactly the same weight. 280 grams. That is shocking to me because they feel very different. I feel like their centers of gravity are different. So in my mind, the DualSense feels lighter, but I think it's just because it's sort of narrower. It's less chunky in a way, if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does.
Okay. Steam controller, 292 grams. So literally only 12 grams heavier. So definitely heavier. I think you will feel it, but to me, without touching it, that seems fairly insignificant in terms of weight.
I don't think that's probably going to make that big of a difference for me.
Oh, here's the test. Steam Deck weight. So the LCD Steam Deck, which I think we both have, right? You have the original. It's obviously heavier than a game controller, but is 669 grams. So through 1.5 to 2. I'm sorry, 2 to 3 times heavier than a controller. If I'm doing the mental math correctly,
right?
So hopefully, if carpal tunnel is a weight issue for you, then hopefully this is not a factor.
Yeah, hopefully not. I mean, it sounds like it probably won't be. Um, I'd love to be able to like handle it before I actually buy it, though, just to get a feel.
Totally.
And I don't think that that's going to happen. So I don't.
Yeah, you got to have someone nearby. But and then the other factor I always assume is that when you're playing a handheld console like a Switch or a Steam Deck, you're sort of you have to hold it so that it's like up in your face. You need to hold
part
it
of the issue
like this. No, if you're listening audio, you can't see me, but
this same problem I have, like if I'm reading a book, right? Like here's my journal.
Exactly.
So like, you know, if I'm reading and I'm holding like this, holding up in a certain position for a period of time. This even happens with if I'm holding a phone. That's so it's really, I don't know if it's that much about the weight, but the Steam Deck feels heavy to me after I've been holding it for a while. So I figured that might also be a discomfort factor.
But with a controller, you can just rest it on a pillow or in your lap, and you're not lifting it. It's just on the ground.
Gonna be a problem. So I mean, like, you know, we will, if we can get one on Monday, we will probably order one.
Yeah.
But just a matter of waiting to see if, you know, I have no idea how many they'll have available or how quickly they'll sell out. I think they'll sell out, no question.
Yeah, that's why I wanna be having my finger over the button. I am intending to, if I can. I don't know if they're gonna limit it per customer. I'm sure there is a limit, but I don't know if the limit is 1 or 2. I want to buy 2 because I have very strong. You know, first of all, I almost never buy anything. I never pre-order, and I never buy anything on the minute it releases. Like I always wait for reviews, but then I always like to wait for, like you said, the internet at large to really dig in on it. But I'm similar to you. I'm worried it will sell out, and I also have very strong confidence as a Steam Deck owner and a Valve stand that like this controller will probably become my only and primary controller forever / for the foreseeable future. So I want to get 2 to have 2 just available, but I also want to get 2 of like, oopsies, I dropped it in the toilet. A good thing I have the next one. You know what I mean? So that is my plan.
Did you own the original Steam controller by any chance?
Yeah, it's right over here. And I really would love to use it. It just doesn't have the right stick. So and this is actually a funky thing that I wonder if they will get a handle on with the new one, or with, it's less about the controller but more about Steam input and the way the trackpads are interfaced with games. But people swear by using the right trackpad on the current Steam controller, the old one rather, and on the Steam Deck as a joystick, meaning you're playing an FPS and you're using a thumb pad like a mouse cursor. So it's kind of like playing a first-person game with a mouse with very precise aiming, but you're actually using a trackpad controller. And this, when the original Steam controller came out, people were like, "Oh, this is how I play Counter-Strike because it's so precise." And I get that. I've never been able to figure out how to do that. Every time I try to set that up to use the trackpad as a joystick, it always goes like haywire for me. It's very like chaotic, and I feel out of control. And there are multiple, it's like trackpad as joystick, trackpad as mouse, trackpad as camera mouse, or like there's tons of input options that let you fine tune. And I have read tutorials. I have tried every option. I've raised and lowered sensitivity, and I don't know why I can't get it to work, despite really wanting to use it like that. So my hope is like that when this comes out, there will be updates to Steam input that's like, hey, dummy, just choose this one, and it's the default one that you know is the one you want. And we'll see about that. But point is, the reviews have been really, really good. I find the discourse around the price to be ridiculous because
it's so stupid. A normal controller is like $80 or $90 as it is. Like,
and this thing has some extraordinary features that no other controller has.
I think people are complaining about the money because people are complaining about money in general, period. Like,
but
everything feels expensive.
You're comparing this controller to a Switch controller or a DualSense. DualSense is like $80,
yeah,
70 or 80, right?
80. And
the DualSense is great, but this controller has 2 trackpads. It has 6-way gyro. It connects to any device via Bluetooth or 2.4 gigahertz dongle. It has magnetic charging. It has this is a new feature that we didn't know about until the release date. It had the sides of the controller have sensors on them which detect whether your hands are touching the controller. So it's an additional 2 inputs on the controller that let you. So basically, it's like if you want to map I saw in the Retro Game Core video, he was mapping the select button to the left sensor, which means he was showing if you're playing Hollow Knight, you're playing, and then if you want to look at the map, you just take your left hand off the controller, which then presses the select button. So it's
that's cool.
Play. Oh, where am I? Let me check the map, and back in the game. You don't have to actually press a button.
That.
So we have been using game controllers with 10 buttons on them for 20 years, and Steam's like, what if this was a button? And you're like, oh my god, that's so good and useful, and I can map it to anything I want. It also has 4 back buttons, not like the Steam Deck. So you have 4 inputs on the back of the controller, which is 4 more than a DualSense, 4 more and 2 more than your average third-party controller, which usually has 2 on the back.
Right.
So the amount of features you're getting on this thing at this price, like I expected these controllers to be like 120. If I'm being honest, I expected it to be more in the like elite, whatever the fuck premium Xbox PS5 things are.
I think that feedback like that is coming from people who are less into the customization of what they can do with the controller and more about let's overreact over a price tag.
Of course.
Because I feel like if you understand what it offers above what's already on the market, it's not really that confusing.
And it's fueled by like mainstream tech headlines. So it's like, the Steam controller's here and it's expensive. Click here to find the price. Like,
well, and that's as I said in the Discord earlier this week, that's a clickbait headline issue and a journalism issue, which unfortunately is a whole nother ball of worms.
Of course. Yep.
But
exactly.
If you're just like the Steam Deck controllers, the Steam controllers here. Like, are people going to click that? Or are people going to click
to click?
Right. Like, unfortunately, I know exactly why they were written like that.
Yep.
But
so
at any rate, I think $99 is a reasonable price point for it, and I expect it, like everything Valve makes, to be a really great piece of hardware.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I'm antsy of like, okay, well, I can order one tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, and I will do that. But then, like, how fast will they ship? Valve's pretty good about that.
The Steam Deck showed up in I think 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was fast.
Yeah.
Which I love, because to me that means they understand that we're dying to try it, right?
We're dying, and we live in a world of Amazon Prime, so it's so shitty to say this, and we all feel it, but it's like I got to wait a week for a thing I ordered on the internet. I got to wait 4 days. That's an eternity.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because it's all gated behind like, oh, if you want faster shipping, spend this much money, or join our insiders program, or pay an amount every month to get the fast shipping. And a part of me is like, but then I realized that that's what Amazon did. We're all, if you have a Prime account, you're paying that. And they sold that package a long time ago, and it worked.
Look, Amazon is not a great company, and so there's tons of ethical problems. But Amazon Prime is and remains a fantastic deal when you account for all the streaming and the Luna game streaming and the Audible credits and whatever the fuck else you get. It's like our family gets
into a really
lot of value out of Prime, despite just being sad that corporations all suck and Amazon's high on that list of sucky, shitty companies.
It is.
All right.
Can you hear my cat yelling in the background?
I cannot hear, but I do see a white shadow creeping in the background.
What's going on, dude? He's just walking around wailing into the nether, like, I don't know.
As we all do in these troubled times.
Right. Very, very relatable, E.G. Very relatable.
All right, let us get into trivia.
Yay, you remembered.
I have the deck here. I'm trying to leave it on the desk so I don't forget. I'm shuffling the cards. The score is still 1-0 in your favor because I don't think we've gotten
I got one right that I was like, ooh, I can't believe I know that one. Amazing.
It was a while ago. I'm shuffling the deck here poorly, and I will be pulling a card at random. Here it is. I got to make sure I pull it up the right way. Okay. Our trivia question for episode 247 is: Detective Cole Phelps is the protagonist from which video game?
Oh, I know.
Cole, C-O-L-E, Phelps, P-H-E-L-P-S. Cole Phelps, Detective Cole Phelps is the protagonist from which video game?
Okay, I think it's... Fuck. Okay, the problem is that I think I can remember the game, but I am trying to think of the name of the game. Like, I can see the game in my mind, but I'm trying to remember the actual name.
I am drawing a blank. I've never heard this name before, so I'm going to try to hone in on some sort of... Oh, okay. Okay, I have a guess.
Okay, my guess is that this is from a Nintendo 3DS game called Hotel Dusk.
Oh, wow. Okay, I've never heard of that.
This is a real deep cut. I think I might be wrong.
Okay.
I'm now Googling to see if I'm wrong. Super wrong. Okay.
You're oh, wow. She already knows. Okay. My guess is a game I've never played, but is very well regarded, and maybe I would check it out one day, is L.A. Noire, which is the detective. I think it's a detective game. Is it Rockstar or is it... I can't remember who made it.
I'm blanking too. I remember when it came out though, but yes.
They like remastered and re-released it, so it's very available. I think on platforms. I don't know what kind of game L.A. Noire is. Obviously a detective, but like I don't know what the gameplay is. I just know that it's like, see,
it's so. First of all, you got it right.
Yay! All right. I was like, let me name any detective game, and I'm like, Ace Attorney. No, that's a court game.
Now I need to know what the protagonist's name was in Hotel Dusk, a game which
I've never heard of Hotel Dusk.
A game which I loved and which was so cool because you turned the DS sideways and you held it like a book. It was, I got to get a video so you can see how cool that was. Okay, right. That cop is Kyle Hyde, so I was totally off. But yes, you are correct. So we are now 1-1.
I am updating the scoreboard.
And also, I'm going to send you a link to Hotel Dusk because I think that you will think that it's neat.
All right. It is 1-1. Now we got a game going. Hotel Dusk. I'll put some, as we're talking, I'll put some footage of Hotel Dusk on the video version.
Yeah, it's cool.
So we can all enjoy some of it here.
It was
a DS game, you said?
I think it was 3DS. It's very like classic noir style. It has like a pencil drawn style.
Oh, it's very cool.
DS
very
point and click adventure. It was so
point and
cool.
Click, yeah.
I loved it. I remember really clearly that I was visiting a friend in Oregon and it was like very like dark and rainy, and I took it with me and I would just like play in the mornings when I would wake up like before everybody got up. So I have a nice memory tied to it, but this is cool. Really fascinating and different, like nothing like that. So
Man.
I miss the DS for like that type of wild functionality where you'd get to use the other screen like for stuff. It was really cool. Like when you played the Rhythm Heaven series on that console, you would do stuff where you would like use the stylus, but then you'd see things happening on the other screen. It was neat. It was really neat.
It's just this thing. It's this form factor in games that had its time, and then like the world and the industry was like, that's done. We're going back to the normal way now, and that's interesting.
I mean, to a degree, like I feel like one cool thing about Nintendo is that they try things that are so unusual that sometimes other companies try them a little, but like they must have a lot of conversations about what can we do to innovate the way people play games.
For sure.
Because I mean, if you think about the Switch even, it's like, it's still like, yes, it converts into a handheld, but you can dock it, but you can take the handles off. Even in the beginning, they were having you turn those, Joy-Con sideways. Like
we take it for granted now, but the Switch obviously like completely and fundamentally changed what we want from a game console.
Yeah. And I mean, the Wii was, because they were like, let's change the controllers into remote controls. It was cool. So I admire Nintendo for always trying those ideas.
I agree. But the Wii is such a fascinating thing because it's like the Wii was a monster hit and a monster success. And yet, like, this is really fascinating. The Wii got grandma to get off the couch and play golf and tennis. But as the Wii's life cycle kept going, I feel like players were like, no, I don't want to swing things around. I just want to play the game. And so the Wii started getting, it's like, oh, right, just turn it sideways and it's a regular controller. Oh, here's the Wii Pro controller so you can just play games regular. Yeah. And then the Kinect sort of came out. The industry was like, whoa, people want to do motion. People want to do motion games. And then all these sort of motion things came out, and it was like, and then players were like, nah, we don't want that. And the Kinect kind of flopped, and the Wii kind of reverted back to its traditional mode. Mm-hmm. And so this massive, massive success and hit that was built around one thing, which was Wii Sports, sold the console, and then we as players were like, nah, we don't actually want that. And it went back to that. Whereas the Switch is like, no. Well, I perceive, tell me if you think differently, like going forward, we all want game consoles to be both a thing I can play cozy on the couch and take with me, and also dock to my TV and play on the big screen.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that functionality works for me. I like the idea of, not having to commit to, as I once did, a separate console at home and then a separate console that you take with you when you go somewhere.
Right.
So I do think that Nintendo kind of revolutionized things with that. The Steam Deck has, a dock and, like anything
the Steam Deck doesn't exist without the Switch creating a market for it. I guess would be my thesis there, I presume.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I find this stuff very fascinating.
It is.
All right. In the time we have left, games, they're good for your heart. You've been continuing your Vampire Crawlers journey.
Yeah, so this week was funny because, like, as you guys know, I've been playing a Resident Evil series playthrough for the first time. And I'm on 4, and I like when I had like the worst symptoms of the cold, like probably like day 3 and 4, I got back from my trip and on Monday, and I was just starting to get sick. I don't know if I even played games that day, but then like by Tuesday I was like I would turn on Resident Evil and I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
Too much
brain processing.
I can't pay attention to what I need to do. and I was in bed a lot after work. And so I just started playing Vampire Crawlers again because I thought the hardest thing I have to do in this game is count to 4 or 5. Like, like ordering my cards.
Yeah.
And that's perfect for me right now. So I played a lot of it. And so I don't know. I'm guessing maybe I have like 10 or 12 hours in now.
Yeah.
And I wanted to share a couple of quick things that I have learned. The combo system is no joke. Even when you are making small combos like 0, 1, 2, 3, I am seeing cards like triple in damage, which is amazing. Like you'll attack and just wipe everything off the board in one attack. Right. So that's freaking awesome. I'm also getting to a point where I'm seeing more of like the gems that you can hammer into your cards. I'm starting to see new ones there.
Totally.
One thing I did not grok when I started playing, and now that I think about it, it makes sense because of, it coming from Vampire Survivors, is that you're going to get a lot of major boosts based on every level has multiple like sub levels, for instance. So you can play it once, and you can pass it and you can go on to the next section. But what you really want to do is play it multiple times, because each time you play the section, you are going to unlock new cards, new gems, more abilities to combo up, and then you are going to get stronger and therefore have more money to spend when you go to the hub in between.
What is sections. The mechanism that unlocks more card complexity? When you say play it again, does that just sort of happen automatically? Of like your second time through the inlaid library, you're getting better cards, different cards, or no?
So I would say more cattail. I would say more that it is card complexity, in my opinion, is not about the cards you find. It's about the way you customize your cards with the gems.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yep,
so that's what I'm finding. Like, I'm starting to get gems that are like, put this in and this card will do 3 times its normal damage. Okay. Stuff like that. Hold on. Don't. No, you're not going up there. You're not. I'm sorry. She likes to jump on top of the bookcase and it's a problem. Now she's leaving with her, not with her tail between her legs.
Anyway, straight up.
Yes, erect tail. So,
hey now.
So that, okay, let me just explain. What happened was I was just going through like the main first level of every section. I'd pass it and I'd be like, oh, cool, I passed it, right? And I'd go on. And then I would go to a new section. I'd get through that section. Finally hit a part where I was like, this is too hard. I can't pass this.
See, I'm waiting for that because waiting for that challenge to kick in so that you have something to like work toward.
It's coming.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, can't pass this. Well, is it about what crawler I use? So I'm like swapping my crawlers out, and that does change the game, but it wasn't getting me past the section. And I was like, okay, let me figure out, do I have to grind? Like, is that what I need to do? And the answer is yes, you do. Yeah. So then I went back and I went to the library and the forest and all that. And each level has 3 sub-levels, I guess you would call it.
And by that, do you mean like going down? Because you go down a level each time you clear a level.
I don't.
You're talking about something else. Okay.
Correct. So like, let's say you go to the forest, you pass, you do your first section, you go down your levels, whatever, you finish. When you complete the level, death comes for you, right?
Yeah.
So because I was just going on, I didn't realize that this was unlocking. But if you go back to the section you just finished, you're going to see like, it's going to have a little table and it says like 1 and you've cleared that. And then you've unlocked 2 and 2 has a little like, red mark with an exclamation point in it. Okay. And you're like, oh, what's that? And you go do that. And then you're playing the level again. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming it's procedurally generated because I don't think it looked exactly the same.
It's not exactly the same. Okay.
Yeah. So like you're playing it again. And then during that, that's when you're starting to get different gems for cards.
So you're building your deck up so that you can go harder on those lower levels, but how? And you're
seeing evolutions. That's the other thing. Evolutions are starting to happen,
how
just like the original game.
So I don't know how you go back because my perception is that the shovel digs you down to the next level.
Right, that you're all doing, but this is about when you're on the world map. So
okay.
Yeah. So when you're moving on the world map, if you're on an area, just go back one area and you'll see what I mean. You'll see like when it's highlighted, it'll say like 1, 2, 3. And if you have not played one of those difficulty levels, there'll be that little red dot next to it.
Okay,
with the exclamation point.
so you're choosing a difficulty spike when you start a run.
That's correct.
I wonder if we haven't unlocked that yet. Does that
well,
like
you'd have to finish any one level for like you have to completely finish a level, and I think each section has like 4. Like I think you go down 4 times when you dig down.
I got to look closer at that because we have completed. We have met death in certain levels. But now
go back to the forest and see, and I think you'll see it. And that was how I was like, oh, okay. So then I started digging deeper in there. Fine. That's when I started also unlocking, because I don't think they're in the original, the first level. I think you have to get harder. That's when I started unlocking more crawlers, because you find the coffins just like in the original game.
In those harder. Yeah. Okay, great.
Correct.
This is
so that's
all
when you
making
find
a lot of
those.
sense.
And then that opens up their powers, right? So it's like I opened up the panda, I can't think of his name, and like he throws cherry bombs. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, so then you're getting different things happening, right?
Totally.
So then after going back to both the library, I think I did the forest, the library, and like the milk factory or whatever the hell it's called.
Oh, right.
I did all of those like in all of their difficulty levels. And then I was able to go past that one area that I'm not going to spoil it because maybe people haven't gotten to it, but cool. It's almost like a bottleneck where you're like, oh, like I getting my butt kicked. I can't live through this, but I got through
it. That's how these games are designed. And it gives you that incentive structure to like, well, I have all these things to unlock and I have all these play styles and heroes and cards to like play with. So maybe one of these will allow me to push through the bottleneck if I level up certain things.
Yeah, like what I'm hoping is that after the bottleneck, because I haven't played after it, I just finished it and saved. I really want to get to the point where I'm making combos that go over like 4. Like right now I'm making combos that are like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
But I want combos that are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because I want to have that stupid like.
Are there cards that? I mean, I assume the answer is yes. There are cards that cost 4, 5, 6 mana, and you have to also then level up your mana pool somehow.
Correct.
Either through meta progression, or there are cards and systems in the run that do that as well.
There are crawlers that'll add to your mana so that you have stuff like that. So yeah, you would have to. But I think in order to get the crazy big dopamine spiking combos, you definitely need to be able to get to that point. Like I'm starting to get them, and I just unlocked Overkill, which whatever damage you do over the amount of their health turns into money.
That's a mechanic we don't have, and that's just a layer of this classic Ponkel formula that's like, oh, now
it's real
I'm
fun.
Do that thing.
Started.
Is that like a permanent unlock, or is that like a thing you have to set up in your deck?
No, you don't really do any like deck jiggering. I've noticed like there really isn't a like let me tweak my deck.
The deck building only happens during a run. It's obviously
right.
not. Yeah, so that's what I mean. Is Overkill a thing? It's a meta thing that happens all the time.
I mean, I'm assuming that I started to get it when I started to really nail combos, because of the way I was playing it at first, and I was playing totally wrong, was I would have a hand, right? And let's say I had like 2 0 cards, 2 1 cards, and 2 2 cards. I would play them just like that. I'd be like 0 0, 1 1, 2 2. And that will actually break your combo. You need to do 0 1 2 3 4. But if you are doing that, and one thing that I've been doing a lot too is like sometimes I'll have a hand where I can do like a combo that's like 0 1 2. But then I have another 0 and another 1, then I'll just start a new combo and I'll just start playing the other cards. So at least then you're not, because if I can use all the cards in my hand, I'd like to, but definitely seeing more decision making, especially when you're in the levels where you're playing at the hardest difficulty, which is like 3, I think. Seeing more decision making as far as like strategy, because you can't play all the cards in your hand.
Right. Yes, exactly.
You can't.
I'm already seeing some of that, and that's it's so beautifully designed, and it's so compelling, and it's gonna just like open up. It's going to just become this like ballooning mechanics thing, which you're waiting for, and it sounds like it's absolutely happening.
It is.
For you.
Also, I have to really hand it to them. Ease of play, which is something 100%. That they absolutely nailed in the first game too.
Yep.
It is so easy to pick up and play. Mm-hmm. And that is something that sometimes I want. I want a very light mental lift. Sometimes I play phone games for that, but like honestly, they did such a good job of that in this and the prior game that it was a perfect game to play 6. So that's like the perfect test ground.
We talked about this when the demo first came out. How the hell did you make a game that is so easy to play? It is almost mindless, and yet has some of the deepest mechanics and card synergies and meta progression. Like,
that's part of what makes it so amazing. Like,
same with Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors is one. There's no buttons. You just move. It's one finger on a phone, and yet you are synergizing and evolving things in the most sophisticated ways. I can't even believe this game design achievement. Sometimes it's extraordinary.
Yeah, it really is. And actually, that's going to allow me to pivot because I wanted to ask about your games. That you had a game called Skull Horde that you played, and I wondered if it's described as an auto battler dungeon crawler, and I was like, is that the same kind of style where it like attacks for you kind of?
Yes, but it is very much in the mold of Vampire Survivors, but notably different because you are a skull. You are the character that you move around is a skull necromancer. So it's got a pixel art style, but it is cheeky in that way. But you are not doing the fighting where, so like when you're playing Vampire Survivors, your character, your hero is shooting or damaging. What's actually happening in this, which differentiates it, is that you have built a horde of soldiers, footmen, archers, skeletons, whatever, and they are the ones kind of dispersing into the environment to fight. So in essence, you move the skull around and you're directing the traffic where your team is moving around the map, but your fighters are the ones going out and fighting, with additional caveats of your skull seems to shoot projectiles. So you're supporting your horde as they go out and fight. So moving close to your team allows you to auto shoot the enemies to support them. And also you can press the right trigger to activate abilities, which are on a cooldown. So, in the demo, I assume there are additional abilities that you could unlock, but in the demo, there's something called Frenzy. So what you do is your dudes are fighting, and then you move next to them, and you hit Frenzy in a radius, and I assume Frenzy allows them to attack faster. So if you're going up against a big enemy, your guys go fight, and it's this clusterfuck of like, a little tornado of fighting. And then you move close to them and you hit Frenzy, and all of a sudden they fight really fast so that they're like pushing through a wall of enemies, Vampire Survivor style, or you're pushing through a boss battle. And then on the left trigger, you can recall your horde to you. So it's basically, so they will follow you wherever you go. And if you move away from an area, they will disengage whatever they're fighting and follow you. They're at your command. But if you're fighting a bunch of enemies on the lower right part of the screen, and all of a sudden a big mini boss comes from the upper left, you can be like, shit, everyone come to me, and you move toward the more pressing threat, and your horde will go like zoop and move up to you, and then you activate Frenzy to sort of like push through the more prescient threat. So it is it is an auto battler in that Survivors style, but it is even more active where you're managing like a team of units. And then in the Vampire Survivor style, you are unlocking treasure chests and whatever gems or gold to add more units to your army, your horde, and also level them up. So if you have, I played very little last night, but I really like it and recommend it.
Did you get the demo on Steam? Because I'm looking and it's not there now.
Go to can I just say this is so annoying on the Steam store. Some games are like, this is the page for the game, and this is the page for the demo of the game.
Right.
And some games are like, this is the page for the game. There is no page for the demo. But if you scroll down the store page, there's a little button that's like, try the demo. And it's like, all right. So go to the demo, go to the proper store page and see if you can find, scroll down. There should be like a little gray button down at the bottom, down in the midsection there. That's like, try the demo out.
Okay. I'm looking for it. Because I would like to try this.
You would love this game. Yeah, where is the demo?
I can't find it.
It's so hidden. On the page where it's like, is this relevant to you? And it's going to show you other games, probably Vampire Survivors. Below that is a gray button that says download demo.
There's a Mac demo. Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised that exists.
But the game has full controller support, so you can play it however you like. Okay. Is this the game that's going to fit into my game life right now? I have other things that I'm really invested in, so I don't know that I'm going to like go hard on this. But like, if you are a Megabonk Vampire Survivors person and you want to change that formula up, mix it up a little bit, I think you'll really like this a lot.
Cool. Yeah, it looks fun. I definitely wanted to try it when I saw you share it, but yeah.
So in a way,
finding that demo. So
it's a bit of it's a kind of a deck builder in a sort of way, because you're building your horde, you're building your army. So you are, I assume, as you go deep on this, there are ways to synergize your deck, which is like a loadout of creatures or soldiers, because you have limited slots. So I don't know exactly how much it is, but let's say you have 6 slots for soldiers, right? And so every time you get a treasure chest, you are you're loading a store or a what's the best way to explain this? It gives you 3 options. So I have 6 slots and I have a footman and an archer. And then I open a treasure chest and it's like, would you like another footman? Would you like another archer? Or would you like this, I don't know, skull crusher? I don't know what the units are. And you're like, oh, okay. If I add a footman, it's going to add more footmen to my footman slot. And if I add an archer, it's going to add more ranged enemies, more ranged soldiers to my archer slot. And if I add a skull crusher, it's going to add a heavy melee unit to my 3rd slot. Okay, so I'm going through my run and I have the 3 slots filled. Let me fill another slot with a fire wizard. Let me fill another slot with whatever the fuck. And then you're starting to open treasure chests and it's like, okay, well, I have no more slots. And now I'm getting a choice of 3. So do I want to level up my existing units, or do I want to disband a unit in order to free up a slot for this other cool unit that I want to try, or that I want to, I presume, synergize with my deck or whatever. And I think what happens is like, you can add additional units to your footman, right, slot. And it's like, I have 1, I have 2, I have 3. But then if I get a 4th footman, it's actually going to level up the footman to like elite footman or something. So you're adding, how to put this, you're adding quantity until you can't stuff any more units into the horde, which then allows you to merge. Essentially, it's a kind of a merging game where you're merging the quantities back into one, and now I have one elite version of this unit, and now every time I pull the unit, I'm adding elite versions until I merge them into a legendary version or whatever.
Okay.
So it's about slots and quantities and merging, but then also making decisions of like, okay, I've got the legendary version of this, I've got the elite version of this, but hey, this like fire wizard, I've only got like a common version of that, and now I've just pulled out of a treasure chest like a super cool something else. Let me kill the common whatever and slot in this cool new unit and try to level up that cool unit. And it's constantly push and pulling. So again, you're building this sort of, it's not really Balatro, but you're building a little deck, but instead of cards that you play, they're little pixel dudes that auto fight on your behalf. And that's cool. It's really cool.
I like that a lot. I'm going to try this out.
Try it out.
For sure.
Yeah, that's called Skull Horde. We'll link it in the bottom. I'm gonna call it here because I gotta, I probably have groceries waiting on my front porch and kids that need to be fed. Last thing I'll say is that I was very excited to see that there was a new Star Wars thing in Fortnite. It's called Galactic Siege. I thought, based on the promo of it from Epic's official channels, that it was like some big official mode in Fortnite, but what it actually is this UEFN, which is like, I guess, Unreal Engine Fortnite something, which is like the UGC Robloxification of Fortnite, where other people and developers can make their own maps.
Okay.
So some third-party developer, I guess, got the license to do Star Wars things in this like third party like UGC mode. I can't quite understand who made it and why and how, but basically someone with the Disney LucasArts permission built Battlefront into Fortnite. And I was like, whoa, this is awesome. Like, I can't wait. Because like, we love Battlefront. Battlefront is such a good game, and to play it in a Fortnite where it's like very social and you're unlocking skins and whatever. And I was excited to fire it up with my son and play it. And we tried it yesterday, and it fucking sucks. It is shit, man. I've never done any of the UGC stuff in Fortnite, but like it runs like ass on the Switch 2. Fortnite on the Switch 2 is a marvelous experience. It is like you're playing a PC game. It looks and runs really well. It's just fun and comfortable to play. And we loaded into these maps, and like the maps are confusing. It's using Battlefront systems, but it's not communicating them visually very well. So I'm like, I have hundreds of hours in Battlefront, and I have no idea where the markers are, or what team I'm on, or who I'm supposed to shoot. It runs at like, 42 frames a second. It's all janked up, in this console experience. And the moral of the story is that like, I found it so frustrating that my son and I were just like, what if we just like install Battlefront 2 again? And now he has a Steam Deck. Battlefront 2 Battlefront 2 is unsupported on the Steam Deck, and yet once you cut through all the janky launcher bullshit, it runs beautifully. It is a magnificent experience on the Steam Deck. It doesn't have a family game share, so I had to purchase it for him again. But it being May the 4th and whatnot, it was on sale for like $10.
Probably like nothing.
And he's having the time of his life playing Battlefront 2, a game from 2017, on his Steam Deck. And at some point, we will load in together and do some co-op stuff. So don't play Fortnite Galactic Siege. It sucks, but do play other Star Wars video games if you're so inclined.
Yes, and if you are going to buy them, you should definitely buy them tomorrow because tomorrow they are all on sale.
Oh, they're on sale now on Steam anyway. I think you shared that.
Right. I did.
We have a new game deals and steals channel on the Discord.
We do.
So.
We made that because I work in the commerce section of GameSpot, so it seemed like it would make sense to share the literal fuck ton of deals I see on a daily basis at work.
Yeah.
I also need to say really quick, just because I need a place to get it out, that I wrote a story on Friday about the coolest Grogu collectible you can possibly own. It costs $600.
Well, then
it is true to size, so it is the size of the real Grogu. It is a
life-size Grogu. Yes,
it has 250 things that it does. Like, you can talk to it, you can pet it, you can ask it to use the Force, you can do all these things. It is the closest you could get to having a real Grogu in your house. And
I assume it animates, and it is it is an animatronic doll. Is this what it is?
Yes, but it's just really, like, as a person who lost their shit over Grogu when The Mandalorian came out, like, I had a doll that year and I was excited about it. But
this is
my God,
fascinating.
I'm gonna actually send you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna send you the story.
Put it in here, and we'll drop a link to it. But
because I just nerded out so hard the entire time that I was writing really the story. Funny. I was like, I wish I had $600.
And also that you're writing a commerce thing that's like, hey, check out this Grogu thing that you definitely can't afford. Who is going to buy this? You know?
I mean, I have friends who, saw BTS with me in Tampa, and then
some people will buy it,
literally. I have friends who are trying to go to the Jedi Master level of celebration this year, which costs $2,000.
That's so great. I mean,
those are those people.
Good on you and whatnot. Speaking, I was talking to a friend who is a big time Star Wars fan at a birthday party that Arthur went to, and it was a movie party, so we walked into the Super Mario Brothers movie, and the posters for Mandalorian and Grogu, which comes out on the 22nd, is there. And we're huge fans of Mandalorian, and every time I see a trailer for that movie, I'm like, what is this movie? All the trailers do is like, hey, remember this thing from Star Wars? Well, it's in this movie. I don't know what this movie is about.
I really do. I really hope it's more than that, because as much as I really love these characters, I want to see them do something.
For sure.
Other than be cute, which I mean.
Yes, exactly. I want this movie to tell a story that is meaningful in this plot of this show that is great. And I just do not know when this movie takes place or what it is supposed to represent plot wise. It's so weird to me.
Well, I will see it. So when I go back,
me too.
Or come back, we can discuss. We should discuss. Even though it is not necessarily video game in nature, I think it is nerd spirit enough that we could talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope there's more to it. I am guilty in that I was glued to season 1 of The Mandalorian and then did not watch season 2. So I have a whole gap that I probably should fill it.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, is it?
I should probably watch that in the next. If I watch that in the I think there's only 2. If I need to watch it in the next 2 weeks so I can be up to date, because I'm assuming the movie would probably continue.
I don't know if it continues or if it's a flashback. No, there are 3 seasons of The Mandalorian, my friend. So if you've only watched 1, you have a lot of work to do.
Yikes. Okay. Better get on it.
Yep.
Because otherwise I'm going to be way behind when I see this movie. So
yeah, Mando is great. Man, just obviously these characters are great and really fun, but some really excellent action sequences, just great heist. The best thing about Star Wars is in my opinion, from an action movie perspective, is this group of heroes is down on the planet and they have to disable the shield generator so that this group of heroes in this massive fleet battle, it's Return of the Jedi, can get through the shield in order to accomplish this like dire mission. Meanwhile, these other heroes are having a lightsaber battle for the soul of the Galactic Republic. And all three of these epic adventures are deeply intertwined and happening at the same time. And only if all of them accomplish their mission will we succeed in defeating evil. And Mandalorian and Andor, of course, in a deeper and darker way, achieves those sort of A, B, C plots that all converge in this epic moment of explosions and laser beams, and that's what I want from Star Wars, and Mando does it, and Rogue One, of course, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, I have homework.
Go play Skull Horde. Go watch Mandalorian, and we will talk with you in 1 week's time.
Bye.